Welcome to the part 3. Now we are discussing about the energy bands in the solids. A very large number of collection of energy levels which are placed very closely to each other in a very small energy range. We call them as the energy band. So if we take a look at the energy level of a single individual atom, they may look like this, in which each single energy level is clearly well distinguishable from each other, and they are separated by a large energy gap from each other. But when number of atoms they come close together to form the crystal structure, when number of atoms they get close, their energy levels they tend to interfere into each other. The result is that very large number of energy levels they become too much close to each other, such that sometimes it is very difficult even to calculate the energy gap between any two consecutive energy levels. So this collection of a large number of energy levels which are present very close to each other, we call them as the energy band. For example, we have one this energy band, this is also energy band, and this is also an energy band. How these energy bands are formed, that we can see from the energy band diagram. In this diagram, we will try to understand how the energy bands are formed in a crystal structure when number of atoms they are brought close together. In order to understand this, we are taking the example of the silicon, which has a valency 4, that is it has 4 valence electron in its valence shell. We assume that n atoms of the silicon are brought from infinity close together to form a crystal structure of the silicon. Now change in the energy which takes place to the energy levels of the various atoms when the interatomic distance between the different atom decreases is as shown above in the diagram, which is known as the energy level diagram, which is nothing but energy band diagram, which is nothing but which shows the changes taking place in the energy levels of the various atoms whenever the space between them is decreased. Now, when the distance r between the atom is equal to the distance d, here the atoms are well separated from each other. They are out of the sphere of influence of each other, that is, no interaction takes place among them. So, all the n atoms they have identical energy levels, well separated from each other. If we take a look at the configuration of the silicon, for one single silicon atom, it is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p2. So 1s2, 2s2 and 2p6. They are called as the ion core state, or they are the fully filled complete states of the silicon. Whereas 3s2 and 3p2, they are the valence shells, valence energy levels, which contains 4 valence electrons, 2 in the 3s level and 2 in the 3p level. So in the outer shell, n energy levels for the 3s orbitals are completely filled with the 2n electrons, and out of 3n energy levels of the 3p, only n are filled with the 2n electrons and the remaining are empty. A single silicon atom in its outer shell has one 3s level which contains 2 electrons. Because we are collecting n number of atoms, so n number of atoms they will have n energy levels for the 3s state, which can contain 2n electrons. Similarly, a single 3p level has three states in which it can accommodate total 6 electrons with 2 electrons in each single state. So for n atoms of the silicon, there are total 3n energy levels of the 3p. Only n are filled with the 2n electrons while the remaining are empty. When the distance between the atoms becomes equal to c, here the valence electrons of the neighboring atoms, they begin to interact with each other. The energies of the 3s and the 3p level of each interacting atom begins to undergo a change. Now we have n different energy levels for 3s and 3n different energy levels for the 3p state. So when distances up to r equal to c, we have separate energy levels which are n for the state 3s and they are 3n in number for the level 3p. And the energy gap between the 3s level and the 3p level is clearly distinguishable, but it starts decreasing as the distance becomes even smaller than the c. Now because the number of atoms, they are very large, approximately 10 raised to power 23 atoms per cubic centimeter in the crystal structure. The total 4n energy levels, n energy level for 3s and 3n energy level for 3p, thereby making total n plus 3n 4n energy levels. Now they are present in a very small energy range, which now we call as the energy band. When the distance become equal to b, here the energy gap between the different energies level disappear. That is, the upper and the lower energy levels belonging to the 3s and the 3p state, they merge together, because at this particular stage the energy levels of the different atoms corresponding to the 3s state and the 3p state, they are so much close to each other that we cannot distinguish the energy gap between the any two given energy states belonging to any particular atom, because of which this energy gap tends to disappear for us. So it looks like all energy levels have merged together. When the distance between the different atoms becomes equal to a, we call this separation as the equilibrium separation between the atoms, because at this stage the energy band of the filled 2n levels and that of the empty 2n levels, they get separated from each other by an energy gap. The lower energy band, which contains 2n levels which are having electrons inside them, called filled 2n levels, they are now called as the valence band, because these are the energy levels which contain the valence electrons belonging to the 3s and the 3p state. And then there is a upper energy band which contains the empty energy states belonging to the 3s and the 3p level. So there are two empty energy levels present in this band, which we call as the conduction band. Both bands are now separated by an energy difference called the energy gap or the forbidden energy gap, in which no electron can occupy any of the energy existing in between the conduction band and the valence band. That's why they are called as the forbidden energy gap. They are named so because valence band is named because it contains the valence electrons belonging to the 3s and 3p level. Conduction band is named so because when electrons will move from valence band into the conduction band, they will be available for free movement, due to which they will be responsible for the conduction of electricity. The lower valence band have all energy levels filled while all the energy levels in the conduction band, they are completely empty. So valence band is the band, or it is a collection of energy levels belonging to the 3s and 3p levels of all the n atoms of the silicon which have electrons filled inside them. Because all the electrons are filled inside them and they are taking part in the covalent bond formation, so no electron is free to move, due to which the electrons present in the valence band, they are not responsible for the current conduction. But when they are excited, when external stimulation is given, some of the covalent bonds will be getting broken, due to which some of the electrons will be released from their respective covalent bonds, and by gaining energy, these electrons which were earlier taking part in the covalent bond formation and they were the part of the valence band, now they will excite themselves into the conduction band, which is totally empty, and they will be free to move inside those energy levels. So they will be responsible for the conduction of electric current inside the crystal structure of the semiconductor. So in this case, any increase in the conductivity of the semiconductor will take place when more and more number of electrons will be excited from the valence band into the conduction band by passing through the energy gap. Thank you.